welcome back to a new video, and as you can see, I'm starting off completely different than usual. I'm taking you with me on my morning routine. It is Saturday morning and I have a project that I am going to tackle today. It's been on my to-do list for the longest time, but I wanted to share with you how I get my day started. So let's jump into it. Now, on the weekends, the very first thing I do is get my coffee started. I cannot start my day without coffee. And here is a fun fact. I didn't always like to drink coffee. I only started drinking coffee about 5 years ago, I think. So I'm fairly new to it. And to be honest, the way I drink my coffee is the way I think most people here in the Netherlands, at least, don't like their coffee. In the Netherlands here, they usually drink their coffee black, but I have to put all sorts of things in it. And here you see me putting in the pumpkin spice. I do that year round. I put pumpkin spice into the filter so that it mixes with the ground coffee, giving it more flavor. While the coffee is brewing, I'm going to give my pumpkin spice and cinnamon a refill. Now, you guys, today's project has been on my to-do list for the longest time. And as much as I love decorating, I need to do these projects as well. But I've been procrastinating on most of them for a very long time, but no more. Some of them I will be sharing with you and some I might not. But I do hope I can give you some inspiration to tackle projects that you also need to do around your home. Now, usually I do clean up my kitchen before I go to bed, but sometimes I don't really feel like it and I have just a few dishes, so I'm going to clean those by hand because my dishwasher at this moment is empty and it does take a long time for me to fill it up completely before I can run it. It takes almost a week, so sometimes I just wait until I have more dishes or bigger dishes to fill it up. One of the things I recently stopped doing is using full coffee creamer or heavy creamer in my coffee, and I started using this oat milk. And you guys, I have to say, I've been loving this. It is totally vegan, as you can see, and what I really love about it, it is low on calories, low on fat, and low on carbs, and it has a lot of vitamins. And you guys, on top of all this, really it tastes so good. It has this quite sweet taste to it. I really love it. And while the milk is being heated up and whipped, I am going to add the rest of the ingredients to my mug. I'm adding cinnamon, and my all-time favorite coffee syrup is caramel. I sometimes have vanilla or hazel, but my favorite is caramel. And I'm adding 2 spoons of a white chocolate, you guys. This is so good. Usually I have regular brown chocolate, but this time I decided to go with white chocolate. Now I do just about anything to make my coffee not taste like coffee. As if I haven't put enough in it already, I'm also adding 2 sweeteners. And you guys, I am all about a good coffee. I don't need a beautiful cup of coffee, I just need a yummy tasted cup of coffee. So this is my morning routine. Now I'm just gonna move to the couch and I am going to wake up slowly. I'm going to catch up on some YouTube before I start my day. So today I'm going to be tackling a project that I've been wanting to do for the longest time. It is underneath my sink. I need to reorganize this and it looks like a hot mess right now. So let me show you what it looks like. So this is under my kitchen sink, and you guys, I've had this for the longest time and it did serve its purpose okay for the time being, but as you can see I cannot keep this straight. Well, even though if I'm going to declutter it now, I still might not be able to keep it straight, and that's the neighbor's dog, what you're hearing. I think he's hearing my voice. Then is he reacting like that? Okay, but anyway, I'm going to be clearing this out, and what I'm about to do is I'm going to be placing one shelf here in the middle that can be pulled out for easy access of all the products and items that I have on here. So I'm going to show you that now. So a while back I bought these and these are drawers, sliders, and I think I paid €4 for this pair, and it is the perfect size to go in here. Now there is this wooden construction here. I'm not really sure what it's serving, what the purpose is for this, but to be honest, I'm not going to remove it because I have no idea. Maybe it is to hold this together. I wouldn't think so, but you never know. So it's not in the way because as you can see, the pipes are here in the drain, and the shelf won't go any further back than this anyway. So I'm just going to leave this, and I'm going to measure how big the shelf have to be. Now, when I was cleaning, I noticed that there were pre-drilled holes, and I thought that was great because then I don't have to drill as much. And the middle one is perfect, on the perfect height, because I want the the shelf to be a little bit in the middle. I'm not really measuring it out how high I want it to be. So I only am going to be pre-drilling 2 more holes to attach the rails. Here's a quick tip, and it doesn't really matter what you are going to drill, whether it's in a wall or like I'm going to do now in this cabinet. I always measure out the screw, and then I mark the drill bit off so that I am sure that I won't drill too far into the wood. And that really helps me out, you guys, because, well, I didn't used to do that, and sometimes I would go just too far. So why did I not see this? But I bumped into one major challenge here. Oh my gosh, I love when this happens, you know. You think everything is so easy. But anyway, this is how it's gonna go. But the door makes that it won't slide out. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to mount a piece of wood that is wide enough, that comes out wide enough, so that when I mount this onto the piece of wood, that it would slide past the door. But I have to figure out what I'm gonna do, because the shelf, it cannot be as wide as this either, because it still won't pass besides the door. So I have to make the shelf a little bit shorter for it to fit. So, oh my. But anyway, I'm happy that this worked out. So I'm going to measure, I think, at least 2 centimeters just to be on the safe side. Maybe a little less, it depends on the piece of scrap wood that I find, but it has to be at least 1.5 centimeters, about 1.8 centimeters. So I'm gonna look for that. So I found this piece. It was a leftover piece from another project that I did, but it turned out that this one was a little too small. But I also found this piece of wood, and this is actually the perfect size. Let me show you that. So I needed it to be about let's say 2 centimeters or a little less. And as you can see, it's here. Oh, this is hard for me, but it is just perfect. 1.9 centimeters. So this is going to be perfect. And if I place it right here, well, you're not gonna see the actual because the wood there is in the way, but it is sticking out just a slightly little bit from the door. So this is perfect. This is just perfect. I'm going to cut it to size, and then I'm going to mount it here. Now it turned out that I lost a piece of footage. After I saw this piece down to size, I went ahead and attached it into the inside of the cabinet, and I attached the rail onto it. So you won't be seeing that. Well, you won't be seeing me do that, but you will see how it turned out. So you guys, here's my new Pride and Joy power tool. I got this circular saw by Bosch and I actually got it last year, but this is the very first time that I am using it. And you guys, I've been using a jigsaw for most of my projects, but I needed to have some more clean cuts, so I decided to get this one, and it was on sale because it came with the bag, and I am so happy. Now this is the wood shelf or the wood plank that I'm going to be using, and I got several of these, so I am just going to read the manual because I have no clue how this thing works. And I have to say, it was taking me so long to go through everything. I just decided to skip that altogether and just start trying and practicing on some leftover piece of wood that I had. Now, after I did some practicing, I was confident enough to start cutting the actual wood plank that I was going to use for my shelf. And I have to admit that using this just to make a clean cut is really easy, but I do have to read the manual if I want to do like in a 45-degree angle or whatever other possibilities I can do with this saw. Now, one thing, silly enough, I wasn't prepared for was all the dust and the debris coming off while sawing. So I did go out and buy me some protective eyewear because you do not want to damage your eyes, you guys. Safety above all. So, you know how they say, third is the charm. So this was my first try. Now you guys, I have no idea where my head was because it was way too small. I cut it 35 wide instead of 45. So there you go, the first one. Then I got the second one, and the second one felt just a tiny bit short. So I measured 45, but for the third one, that's the charm, I measured 45.2. And the reason for that is because it was hard to measure between the two sliders. Because by the way, the first time I measured the space, I measured from the cupboard two ends, but I should have measured in between the sliders because that's where it's going to be mounted like this. So I had all this space twice too much. So now I got it and I am ready to install these. And then I'm going to see how it works. So bear with me. And this is what it looks like so far, and I'm already so satisfied with how easy it is to use these sliders. And as you can see here in the bag, it is a perfect fit. I decided to add another piece here, just to prevent anything from slipping into the bag. And I used a piece of one of the second one that went wrong. It was slightly a bit too small, so I reused that piece, and I think it worked out just great. So let's see how it's going to look. And there you have it. So I am so satisfied with this. I am really pleased. And now that the shelf is installed, I can move ahead and put back all the stuff that I have. I did decide to keep these two baskets because I think it is easier to keep all the stuff together and organized. So making it less cluttery in the cabinet. But anyway, I'm just cleaning them up now so I can put back all the stuff and look at all the junk that I have, you guys. These are all cleaning supplies. Some of these I haven't used in ages, like this polish, for instance. I don't really like it, so I may have to toss it out. But anyway, I'm going to be organizing these, putting them in the basket and putting them back in the cabinet. Here I am using two command hooks so I can hang up my grill cleaning brush and my bottle brush. Now, you know how when you decorate, you might get obsessed with pretty things. And I know that these baskets aren't the prettiest, but you guys, I am not gonna go out buy new baskets for this, because why spend that money for items that you're not gonna see? They're going to be behind a closed door. So maybe in the near future I might spray paint them, but for now they get the job done. On the inside of the door here, you can see 4 holes, because I used to have 2 trays here holding my sponges and my dishcloth, but I decided to go with this suction cap hooks, you guys, and I can totally recommend this if you are using some lighter weighted objects, because they are so easy to reuse and to remove. So I'm going to be using these for my sponges and my dishcloth. That's going to be it for this video. I am really satisfied with how organized everything is looking. Now, I want to thank you all so much for stopping by and for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I see you again in my next one. Bye.